kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome, everybody, into the Racers Elite Superspeedway Series. Tonight, the drivers take it back to 1987 for the Cup cars. And they're, of course, at none other than Talladega. Talladega is going to be interesting tonight. Looks like we're going to have about 11 drivers try and take on the track. Last week, we did see Kirby Wainscott bring home the victory after leading 11 laps from Daytona. He also wound up taking the points lead there. But that was I guess it wasn't last week because they've been off a couple weeks. But that is where we last left off. And tonight, we're going to see what these 87s can do as they are getting ready to qualify. I'm Mike Demoni up in the booth. As always, joined with me today is Colin. Colin, man, how's it going?
It's going, Mike. How are you?
Well, not too bad. Looking forward to see what fun and excitement these guys can put on. Usually, leagues are a little bit leery of driving these 87s, but not Racers Elite. They threw it on the calendar, and I believe it's even on their next season's schedule. So we'll see how that all shakes out. We've got a few drivers left to qualify, about 4 minutes left in the session. Andrew Teft is out on the track at the moment. what he can do. Coming through the tri-oval, finished his second lap. First time lap there. 47.05 for Teft. Jump over to Alex as he is coming by the start finish line. 48 flat for the 43 Ford. Brian LaPratte up on the top of the board at the moment with the 46.85. See if Alex can go any faster this time by. Talladega is one of those tracks where you think the start-finish line is going to be at the point of that tri-oval there, and it is clear down past basically pit exit. So it's one of those tracks where you have a long distance to make up from turn 4 to the finish line. A 47.11 there for Alex Teft. I believe that's probably everybody that's going to get a qualifying lap in here. But Colin, you have not driven these 87s, but you've raced at Talladega, I'm sure, a time or two. What are some strategies when you come to Talladega?
Well, in my experience, I've come to find that qualifying did not matter too much for me. It really didn't matter a lot where I started. It was always a draft game and a fuel save if you need it. Cautions would always really shake up strategies. So it was always about trying to make sure that you stayed with the pack and didn't get yourself into trouble.
Yeah, that is one thing that you definitely don't want to do, is lose that pack. And with 11 cars signed on, it could happen fairly quickly if you're towards the back of the pack here. But also with the few cars, I imagine we're going to see some pretty good racing, especially up front, side by side, and especially once they get the handling of the cars figured out with other drivers. They did have this practice session up for quite a long time. I believe Matt Metler actually was the fastest one in practice, so we'll see what he can do with that 311 Buick out there. Only one in the field, so everybody else is sticking with their Chevys and Fords. They jump over to the race session here. It up.
These are some fast times, man. I didn't appreciate just how fast these cars were.
Yeah, everybody thought, when you think 87s that they're slow, they're not that slow. So Brian LaPratte gonna start on the pole. Truth Hoke got that 55 Wrangler machine on the outside. Garrett Michael, the 63 Chevy in E3. Andrew Teft jumping in with that Soda Sense 98. Alex Teft, 43 Ford, starting P5. Matt Metler just to his outside. And you got Terry Fennell and Chris Blasi in row 4. Row 5 is going to be Joey Castle and Paul Hurst. Looks like Kinsley Smith might be starting from the pits or not starting at all. He was late jumping in, so we'll see how this works here once we get rolling here.
driven these 87s?
I've driven them a couple times, but they're definitely more of a handful than the next gens and stuff. If you ever want a challenge, take them back to old Daytona with all the bumps and everything, and you'll definitely get a workout. So here they get ready to roll. Pratt gonna lead him on down to the green flag here. Pace car is gonna make that left-hand turn. It is quite the distance here until you get to that restart zone. Brian LaPratt with the field under his control, headed to the Geico restart zone, and we are underway here in the Super Speedway Series. Brian LaPratt gets the jump. Truth Hoke a little slow on that outside lane. Has Andrew Teff right behind him, though. Truth Hoke battling back on the high side, side by side. Truth Hoke gonna push his nose out to the front. Pratt back to the front after he gets a little shove there from Garrett Michael. Michael and Truth Hoke almost bumped there. Outside line slows down just a little bit, but here it comes right back as they exit that tri-oval.
Seems like these cars aren't too unforgiving with falling off the draft. It seems like you can get back in line.
I don't think that these cars haven't. Oh, it's Truth Hoke's hard into that outside wall. Going to lose a lot of time there as he bumps it a couple times. But what I was going to say is I don't think that these cars have that bubble almost that you have to push like in the next gens. So that probably is helping him a little bit here as LaPratt continues to lead. Michael in second with Chris Blasi now up to third. Spreading back out again. LaPratt goes to the high side. Michael stays down low. Andrew Teff stays with Michael.
And Truth Hoke already rejoining the back of the pack.
Truth Hoke, Terrafino getting back in line here. Doesn't look like they've lost too much time, about a second or so. Alex Teff lost a little bit as he was up in the high line by himself for quite a while, and everybody drove by him on the bottom. Matt Bettler now sticking up to the high line, hard into that outside wall, bounces down to the inside. Alex Teff follows him, and they both go down almost to the inside wall there. Got it back under control, though. That is not something I thought I would see, though. Andrew Teff getting pushed to the high side, drives down to the low side, going to lead that lap. Chris Blasi staying up high. Got the 76 of Paul Hurst in the middle. Garrett and Michael down on the bottom. Blasi slides up in front of Michael. Almost took his nose off. And Paul Hurst thought he was, and Paul took evasive action, went into that outside wall. So he is definitely going to be slow on track. Truth Oak, like you said, caught up with the caught up with the pack, but now he's into that outside wall. So maybe we're seeing a little tire wear here, lap 5, causing some issues for some of these drivers.
People are becoming acquainted with the wall. And it looks like Alex Teft is coming down pit road.
It looks like Alex.
Looks like he tagged the cone on the way in.
Looks like he might have got a little out of sorts there. Andrew Teff now going to the high side. We see these guys go back and forth each direction, one on the bottom, one on the top. I think they're trying to figure out where their cars are going to drive better for the later part in this race, but it doesn't seem like anybody's really stuck to a lane though.
No, the fast line has not yet been established. It's kind of a free-for-all at the moment.
I'd say if it has, it's been bouncing between top and bottom, and Matt Metler hard into the wall. Andrew Teff follows him through. We're staying green as everybody's going the right direction. Looks like Truth Hope got a little bump there as well. Andrew Teff down on the inside. If he's going to be able to get that car
Andrew Teff might have
rolling.
to get towed. He's moving, but only just. Yep, you got it going again.
Definitely out of sorts there for that. Oh! We're still green. Still green. Leaders are coming, though.
Oh, Alex Teft gets crooked exiting the pit road.
Oh!
Oh, my.
Looked like Truth Hope was clear down on the bottom trying to keep his car under control as well.
Andrew Teft limps back into pit road.
Blasi, LaPratt, and Michael, the top 3. Joey Castle running out here. Biggest mover of the race up 5. Oh, I was going to say biggest mover of the race, but it looks like Blasi's up 6. So still Joey Castle up 5 spots. Looking to make some more. Still hanging on to this draft here. Andrew Teff down on the bottom. Exiting pit lane. Like he will be able to do that.
Has Metler into the wall.
Truth Hope pushing him pretty hard here. They're about 8.5 seconds back of the leaders. Now by himself, and then you have the group of 4. Joey Castle up another spot. Definitely know this car was made way before he was born. Actually, I think there's only a couple drivers here that might have been able to drive in 87 when they were brand new. He lost a little bit of speed there. Ozzy LaPratt, Michael Castle.
Andrew Teft a lap down, but catching that breakaway before.
Yeah, we know Andrew is pretty quick here. And it wasn't his doing that really caused his issue. Looks like Joey Castle's going to come down pit lane. Maybe. Off of every other wall there. And hit the cone. So that'll be probably an unsafe pit entry.
Oh dear. Yeah, that's a hefty penalty to pay. I've had to pay it.
Especially at these tracks. I mean, Michael sideways.
Oh no.
Andrew Teft again. And he is burning it down.
Garrett Michael involved.
I'm not sure what happened. These guys keep going the same direction, so it's not really registering any real incident. He is rolling, so then there were two. Chris Bozzi and Brian LaPratt have a 7.5 second lead over the field.
Truth Hoke has the best lap right now, so they're closing in on that pack.
I wonder if Joey Castle was coming down for a scheduled pit stop. But if that was the case, I'd imagine these guys are going to be getting ready to come down as well. And we've seen what detriment pit road can be here. Pratt to the inside. These guys do have a incident cap and only one faster pair, so looks like Andrew Teft is probably going to be sitting on pit lane for at least probably 10 minutes or so, I'd imagine. Judging by the smoke from his engine.
Yeah, it's a tough break.
Oh, Blasi into that outside wall, gonna allow LaPratt to take the lead here. Back and let's see what's going on with these other three.
If they can work together, they can catch the lead group.
Yeah, but looks like they're 3 wide.
It's going 3 wide, as I said it.
Now gets a little loose in that back end. Able to keep it going in the right direction. Paul Hurst, Matt Butler. Ruth Hoke still leading these 4. They are the closest as far as racing. And as I say that, it looks like the leaders are back side by side again. Not too much going on here. Go back to this group of 4. Truth Hoke is one of the faster drivers on track. Got Paul Hurst, Matt Metler, and Terry Fennell. Looks like Garrett Michael is also back on track. Joey Castle and Alex Teft. Andrew Teft still sitting on pit lane getting that car looked at. Looks like there's another pickup back here in this group as Paul Hurst goes to the back.
Interested to see what happened there with Paul Hurst.
I think we can. I think I can. See him coming up on the outside. And takes a spot from Truth Hoke, and then all of a sudden looks like he just lost all momentum. Built down behind.
Live, we had Truth Hoke getting squirrely under the apron trying to come down pit road, it looked like.
Truth Hoke trying to come down pit lane, okay. I think everybody coming down pit lane, we've just had issue after issue.
It's been problematic. Well, we know these cars are fast, but how are they to get them slowed down to that 60 miles an hour?
That really might be the issue because, the newer cars, with the actual brakes. Of course, if you would have told me that these cars are doing over 200 miles an hour, I don't know that you would I would have believed you really. But leaders are going almost 207 miles an hour.
And Truth Hoke coming out of the pit lane now.
Let's see what he's doing here. Been an issue getting off pit lane as well. Looks like he close to touching that yellow line. If you do that, go a little too far, you're going to wind up with another penalty and have to try and come back down pit lane.
Oh, Alex Teft low on the back straightaway. Did he make a pit stop?
Nope.
I think he might have a moment.
Yeah. Yep, there he goes again. See if we can. You won't be able to, but see if we can go on board here real quick. We can kind of get a feel for it. I think these old cars are pretty cool, but I don't know that I'd want to try and drive them every day.
They seem like a handful.
Back to these 4 drivers. Paul Hurst was able to gather it. Whoa! Truth Hoke putting those new tires to work as he just about ran over Terry Fennell there. Truth did make a pit stop, so he's a lap down. Oh, Fennell up into that outside wall. Assuming these drivers that haven't pitted are going to have to make some pit stops here pretty quickly. Usually it's about 2 per race with these drivers, so we'll see if that's going to hold true here.
I think there's been some chatter over the radio about how tricky it is to get your entry right onto pit road.
Yeah, I don't know. After seeing the way some of these drivers came down pit lane, I think I'd almost rather try and just stop, like on the backstretch with the huge apron, and then be like, okay, I can ease my way down there, because we've seen how the drivers just go sliding through pit entry.
Terry Fennell drags a wall in 3.
Imagine when we see some of these drivers, like Paul Hurst or Matt Mettler, head to pit lane probably before the leaders, because these guys have been all over the track. The leaders have been pretty well stuck together. All right. Leaders are going to come down pit lane. Let's see how death-defying this is going to be here. Yeah, slowed down quite a bit. Perfect entries. Now we'll go back to the next group of drivers. And they pull off right as they hit that backstretch, give them plenty of time to get those cars woed up. I think they got that pretty well situated there. Truth Hope gonna, if he can roll himself to the lead. Back out. They'll probably be fine and still maintain that lead, because they've got 17 seconds. Well, was 17, now it's down to 10. So we'll see if they can get up to speed here before Truth gets by. Take a look where Truth Hope is.
Looks like Truth Hope is going to be exiting turn 2 right now. So he'll definitely be seeing them on the back straightaway.
Halfway
Truth
through
Hope's going to be a little bit lighter. He's going to be a little bit lighter on fuel load, so maybe he can catch that 2-car group.
He's got plenty of time to the drivers behind him. He's got 10-second lead over Paul Hurst there. And it's under 2-second gap to the leaders right now.
It looks like Truth Hope made his pit stop on lap 19, so let's see how that shakes things up later on.
Yeah, if all the drivers made it 26, they're going to have to pit probably twice unless they can extend it, because we're going 94 laps, so they'll probably come down somewhere around 50 and then split the difference on that final one, but we'll see what happens here with these drivers. But with that being said, we're going to step aside, pay some bills, go side by side. You won't miss anything, and we'll be back after this.
Truth Hook into the wall in 2.
He's going to come down pit lane, so
yeah.
Well, he's going to do that. We'll step aside, and we'll be back after this. All right, we're in commercial, so give us a break at least a little bit, because good. I mean, for what's going on, I mean, most of the time I wind up talking too much because that's just what I do. But, yeah, I don't understand. I mean, I thought it was going to be a little rough, but I didn't think it was going to be that bad. All right, welcome back, everybody, to Talladega in the 1987s. We saw quite a few drivers lose the wheel a little bit coming off of turn 2 and collect that outside wall. Right now, it is a two-car race between Brian LaPratt and Chris Blasi. Which they get close and almost touch there. Alex Teft back on track. About 10 laps down. Like Bruce Hoke has called it a day. Joey Castle rolling through in P7. Matt Metler is in P6, but just behind Castle. Paul Hurst back down pit lane one more time. Terry Fennell up to P4 in that 50 Chevy. And Garrett Michael running out here by himself in the 63 Chevy. Has about 20 seconds in front and 15 behind, so got plenty of room around him as he's coming down pit lane. He was last down on lap 13, so makes sense for him to come down now. Andrew Teff checking in on the YouTube chat says he only has like 20 more minutes of repairs, so he's already been in there for almost 18, so a little over 18. So
that's unfortunate.
Changing an engine in the 87s must be a little more difficult than the newer ones.
So we got 2 3-car groups: Matt Methler, Joey Castle, Terry Fennell, and then you've got Chris Blasi with Brian LaPratt and Alex Teft, who's, if I'm not mistaken, 7 laps down on them.
Yeah, it's got to be a little disheartening when you're running with the leaders, but there's no way you're gonna be up there with them. Like,
yeah, it feels so good to be running up front with them, and so sad to know that you're not actually running in that spot.
these two have been racing pretty much all over the track. We've seen them run up high, down to the low side, swap positions inside, outside. It doesn't seem like it really matters for them when they're out here running. Looks like the rear end of these cars so gets a little loose once they have a few laps under them, but these guys have been able to control those cars fairly well. Terry Fennell is now the third place car, 38 seconds back. A little smoke sitting there, so what exactly that was from, but Mettler looks like he came off the corner a little hot, wound up on the apron, and was able to make that pass. Not really for position, but he made a pass on the car.
It's a satisfying feeling. Could be that morale boost you need.
Yeah. Joey Castle racing with Garrett Michael. They're a lap apart as well. Paul Hurst made a pit stop on lap 34. Garrett Michael made his on 35. So definitely a couple different pit strategies playing out here.
It looks like Paul Hurst had a stop for repairs on lap 34 rather than a scheduled stop.
That last pit stop, 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Alex Teft, his last pit stop was 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Like the Truth Hoke is done, and Andrew Teft has been sitting in his car. Actually, probably not. I say sitting in his car, but I don't know that I'd be sitting in my car for 20 minutes while they're trying to repair it.
No, I think he's the fire suit's unzipped, the helmet's off, and sipping a cold drink.
For everything else going on in this race, Chris Blasi and Brian McPratt there, they have not been more than, I don't know, half a second away from each other at any point during this race.
Yeah, it does seem like they are decidedly racing one another.
Looks like Matt Mettler called it a day too, as he is now gone.
Looks like Joey Castle just got around Matt Mettler. So
Yeah,
he got his lap back.
But it looks like Mettler called it a day, so
Yep.
I don't know what happened, but
We'll start seeing him fall down the order a few spots.
if Andrew can get out and run 19 laps, he'll be able to pass Truth Hoke. So
Yeah, I'd love to hear an update from him on how much time he's got left and try to do the math on that one.
well, he said he had 20 minutes left at 18, so 10 more minutes. It's gonna be way tight. It looks like Alex Teft is just rolling around here. He is slowing down, so he's going to come down pit lane. Brian McPratt going to lead the race for a little bit and get out to 0.3 of a second, and Blasi's going to reel him right back in. And Terry Fennell is in front of them there. He is the last car on the lead lap. He's the only car on the lead lap besides the 2 leaders.
Right. Oh, but no more.
Yep, no more. Two on the lead lap, and they are within a 1/10 of a second of each other again, with Blasi leading this time.
It's looking like a long stop for Alex Teft. Hope he hasn't called it quits, because he just has to get a few more laps in to get past Matt Mettler.
Truth Hope called it quits. Matt Mettler quit because he's in the Discord now too. So only 3 drivers left in the Discord, and that is Alex, Andrew, and Joey. Hey, we're over halfway through this race.
Hey!
Garrett Michael made another pit stop. He is in and out on lap 46. Joey Castle's back rolling again after making another pit stop for himself. Paul Hurst also down. Imagine we're going to see these guys come to pit lane any time now as we are working lap 50. They pitted on lap 26, so.
It seems that Paul Hurst is reeling in Joey Castle. The two of them are the same number of laps down on the leader, but a 30-second gap between them. And that gap is rapidly shrinking.
Close to each other. I think it's basically just the leaders.
Yeah, everything else is broken up a whole lot. And Alex Teft's still on pit road.
Still sitting there. The Andrew Teff still sitting on pit lane. Got about 8 minutes left of repairs for that machine, so.
4 cars stacked up together. I believe 2 of them are making a pit stop.
So it looks like leader probably should be coming down. No mistakes. Oh, and there goes Terry Fennell.
Oh dear. Oh
Fennell
no.
Made a mistake.
Oh, and he'll have to stay out.
If he's gonna keep rolling or not.
Oh, he's gonna tow it.
He just towed it, so. I believe this is the furthest that LaPrat and Blasi has been apart, and that's because they're making pit stops here. They are going to be the only cars remotely close to the lead lap after this pit stop.
I wonder what happened with Terry Fennell's entry on the pit lane.
Looks like he just...
He ended up in the outside wall on the tri-oval, so...
Let's see, you won't be able to see, but we'll see. Oh, hard on the brakes, locked him up, and then just was going sideways back up into the wall. Blasi is now out to almost 3/4 of a second, but that is not going to last very long as LaPrat is reeling him right back in.
Do you think the 2 leaders, think they have something up their sleeve for the last 2 laps of the race, or is it really just a dead set battle between the 2 of them?
I don't know. The way they've been running, it seems like it doesn't really matter. Like either one of them could win the race. They're not really set on a line, so I imagine we're going to see them side by side almost the final few laps. I think it's going to be a pretty awesome finish here with these 2 drivers coming to the checkers.
I think you are correct.
Who else is remotely close to each other on track here as the leaders are rolling here? Garrett Michael basically by himself has almost a second, at least a second either way. Snell again off the wall. Like Joey Castle's going to be able to reel him in momentarily.
Oh, Terry Fennell has a lot of damage on the front of that car.
He was all over the place. He jumped to the pits too, so. Joey Castle gonna go up to 4th place.
It looks like Terry Fennell has decided to load up the car.
Paul Hurst, he jumped to the pits.
Ooh, Joey Castle catches the wall right before start finish. Keeps it under the apron. Keeps it under the apron.
That's a pretty good save. For how
That
hard,
was a pretty good save.
How hard that went. So it keeps it rolling in the right direction. Andrew Teff should be just about ready to get back out on track. Let's take a look at his car on pit lane. It looks like he's got the front fixed, fenders back on, so could be rejoining us any moment now.
Paul Hurst gets back up to speed.
Extended pit stop as well for Hurst there. I think he might have went on the racing surface there, but we'll have to wait and see. Now the problem with Andrew is he's been sitting there for over half an hour.
Looks like his repairs might be finished.
Yeah, they're got to be pretty close. As he looks like he should be getting ready to roll off of pit lane. Let's see. He's still sitting there for now. He's got to be pretty close though. Andrew's 41 minutes behind the leader, so
He's
he's been on pit lane for almost 40 minutes, so he definitely should be just about getting ready to get back out on track. Right now he's got about 30 laps. If he does 30 laps, he'll be close to getting Mettler. He will get Truth Hoke as long as he gets out here pretty quickly and just log some laps here. Race leaders are Blasi and LaPrat still. Garrett Michael is in third on the track too, or track position here, but he is third in the race too. He's a minute and a half back. He's a couple laps down now.
Oh, and Andrew Teft exiting pit road. Oh my.
Yeah, Andrew Teft back out on track.
He may be able to pick off Truth Hoke and Matt Mettler yet.
I'll say Mettler's gonna be close.
It's gonna be close. He's just gotta keep it clean and get those laps done.
Yeah, the leaders have 31 laps, so if he can do all 31, it's gonna be right there. So.
That'll be interesting.
Pratt and Blasi still rolling through. Joey Castle on pit lane still. Like he's got to get his ride fixed up. Like Andrew Teft didn't forget how to race after sitting in a cooling room for 40 minutes. Garrett Michael back down pit lane. Alex Teft was able to get by Perry Fennell here, up to 6th. Joey Castle back out on track after a minute pit stop there. Paul Hurst been almost 2. I think the only drivers that really haven't had any issues are our 2 leaders.
And those 2 leaders have 3 laps on the next car behind them, as it stands right now.
Yeah. Pratt going to the inside, going to make the pass here. I think these guys just like playing hopscotch. Let one lead for a little bit, then the other one will come back and lead for a bit, and back and forth they go.
I wonder if they're talking to one another about fuel saving. Maybe not, based on what I'm seeing. That last pit stop at lap 52. They're not going to make it to the end on that.
Yeah, no, they'll have to stop on 78. So probably about 10 laps. I'd imagine they're going to come down. I mean, I wonder if these guys are going to get tired of seeing each other in their rearview mirrors the way they keep driving back and forth.
Maybe it's just nice to be chased by someone rather than some of the drivers on track that don't have anyone in their rearview mirror.
Garrett Michael, Paul Hurst. They're racing each other for position, just not at this moment in time. As Paul Hurst is, I think, 2 laps down, even to Garrett Michael here. Everybody else is close to each other on track here. Not really. Where Andrew Teft is out running by himself. He's running up in that high line in the corners. I don't know that I've seen too many of the drivers go clear up almost to the wall intentionally in the corner there.
I'm curious if that's somehow faster for him.
And I guess it's a lot easier to hit that outside wall, or you don't hit that outside wall quite as hard when you're exiting too, if you're already up there anyway.
Just drag against it instead of whacking it.
Yeah. He's got to get 11 more laps to get by Truth Hope. Blasi and LaPrat are still within a tenth of a second of each other. Same way it's been all race.
And my favorite statistic at the moment is Truth Hope holding the fastest lap time still.
Yeah, he was fast. He's one of the more senior members in the league, and he does really well. He, especially at these super speedways, he'll qualify really well, but he'll make just a couple little mistakes, and then basically ruins his day. But usually he's pretty quick. What's funny is he is almost almost 2/10. No, never mind. Paul Hurst was under there too.
Looks like Garrett Michael and Andrew Teft were just running side by side.
Andrew Teft has some speed. He was quick. Just got caught up in a couple little things. Completing lap 20 here for Andrew Teft. 68 for Garrett Michael. And the leaders are working on lap 73.
Oh no! Andrew Teft goes around, and the caution's out. First caution of the night, and Andrew Teft looks like, from what I could tell, lost it on his own and had it pointing the wrong direction.
Let's see what happened. Oh, he got a little bump.
Oh, he had some help.
Go back and rewind that a little bit. Oh, well, he kind of did it himself. He was in the corner. Looks like he starts to slide up the track. Garrett Michael's still there. And Andrew Teft slides up, goes right across his bumper, and that's what gets him loose. And gonna have him go into that outside wall, and around he goes. Then back up onto the racing surface right in front of Paul Hurst. So that is what's going to bring out the caution. First caution of the night as we roll through. Not really going to change the standings too much here, but it is going to give these guys the opportunity to decide if they want to pit under caution, which I imagine they will.
Just if you stop now, you're good on fuel for the rest of the race, unless it comes down to green, white, checkered.
Yeah, they should be good. They've had 26. One caution here. I think I'd chance it and come down and top my car off because it's a lot easier to get on pit lane under caution than green.
Yeah, we've certainly seen proof of that. Well, it looks like Garrett Michael has gotten the lucky dog.
I'll get one of his laps back. Only 3 down. Andrew Teff needs 7 laps to get past Truth Hoke. Blasi leads them out of pit lane. Blasi, LaPrat. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to be these first 2 cars are going to be in the first row. Then I believe everybody else is pretty much going to be single filed behind them.
I'd kind of hate to be the car starting in the 2 spot.
Yeah. At least, if I'm not mistaken, that's the way they usually wind up doing it. Can't stack up, but never know. Maybe they'll just all be single file. Not that it really matters, because I believe everybody's pretty much on different lap anyway.
Yep.
Except for the leaders. Michael should be joining him momentarily. 190. Oh, there you go. Doing 197 when I looked up, so. Car is going to make that left-hand turn down pit lane. Blasi and LaPrette are going to be side by side. Lean them on down to the green flag. 18 to go when we get to the line. We're down and away. Blasi with a heck of a start.
Great start.
Hurst is staying right with him, but that outside line is not going. We'll see if Brian LaPratte's going to be able to make up some ground here, or if this is going to be the chance that Blasi just starts to run away. Well, Hurst is going to try and get a lap back the hard way. Honestly, though, I don't know if I'd want to be these guys. As Chris Blasi slides down right behind Hurst, almost taking his bumper off as he came down. Which goes to what I was just about ready to say. I don't know if I was these leaders, I want to be racing around these guys that are multiple laps down, that have had several incidents here after we were pretty much running a clean race. Not saying it's any of their fault, but, you know, kind of happens that way.
Oh, trouble.
Paul Hurst lost it a little bit and got back into it.
Yeah, I thought I'd seen Joey Castle getting into the back of Brian LaPratte. There's always a scary thing about restarts when you're the leader.
Well, especially like this, like. I mean,
yeah. With two cars on the lead lap.
There's 2 cars on the lead lap. Basically, the only 2 that really haven't had anything happen-ish around them. And then you get put back in the with all the rest of the drivers, and you're like, I don't know that I want to be back here after we've just been cruising for 70 laps by ourselves. Joey Castle with a run on the high side. Lost a little bit of speed, fading back just a little bit, but he's still on that draft, and might be able to help whoever he wants to push him to the win here if they stay like this for the next 15 laps.
Certainly could. A lap car could be the difference, giving somebody a nudge.
Ooh, Alex Teft off the outside wall again. I mean, I guess if they hit that wall enough, it'll push it out further, right?
Just trying to clearance it a little bit.
But yeah, like you said, it always seems like off of 2, they just lose it just a little bit and wind up hitting that wall. 13 laps to go. Andrew Teft
13 laps is exactly what Andrew Teft needs to get Matt Mettler.
I'll say he just got by Truth Oak. Joey Castle down to the inside.
Oh, that's dicey.
That got a little too close for comfort, I think, for Brian there.
If I'm Brian LaPratt right now, I think I would just let Joey Castle go fight with Chris Blasi and hope for the best.
I was gonna say there's two schools of thought. You either let him go and hopefully he does what he just did to you and it causes Blasi to mess up there, or you give him a little bump, then maybe he goes into the outside wall and you can get rid of him that way. Oh, LaPratt down to the inside of Castle. I mean, even with all of that, Blasi and LaPratt still have not been further than a half second away from each other all race. It looks like they might maybe start pulling away a little bit. They'll have that group, though, that's pushing each other. Paul Hurst, Joey Castle, and Garrett Michael there. All trying to hang on to the leaders here.
Now, if I'm Andrew Teft, half a lap down on track, I'm getting a little bit nervous about whether or not I'm gonna catch Matt Mettler.
It's getting close. 9 to go. Whoa, Paul Hurst. Down to the inside, spinning around.
Oh, geez.
Keeping it going the right direction. No front bumper. No right side of his car. But he's good.
Now he's going to be in real danger with Joey Castle and Alex Teft for position after that.
Got Joey Castle coming down pit lane. Oh! Keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling.
Oh, no.
Joey Castle hard off the wall. Well, there went that pile of people behind these two.
Yeah, Joey Castle looks like he's blown up.
Paul Hurst is done. Joey Castle basically done. It'll be Blasi and LaPratt. We have
Looking like Alex Teft might pick up a position.
Might get, yeah, he probably will get by Joey Castle, so he'll get a top 5. I think Andrew Teft is it's going to be close to Andrew Teft picking up Matt Mettler.
If he can stay in front of the, ahead of the leaders and not go another lap down on them, I think Andrew Teft should get Matt Mettler.
See where he is versus the leaders here.
He's in turn 2.
Yep, just coming on the backstretch. The leaders are. He should be
into the tri-oval right now.
Yeah, he should be okay.
And just a quick fun fact, Truth Hoke still holding the fastest lap of the race.
Which is kind of funny because Blasi and LaPrat are running away with the race, but they're not running that fast.
And that's the thing, they've run a safe race. They've stayed out of trouble. When you try pushing really hard, that's when you have those moments where you kiss the wall coming out of turn 2.
Four laps to go. Blasi, LaPrat. Alex Teft just got by Joey Castle. That's going to be a top 5 there for Alex. He might even get another position here.
He could. We still got at least 2 to go, right?
3 to go right now.
Unless Paul Hurst can get out of pit road, looks like Alex Teft is gonna snag another one.
So it looked like Paul Hurst blew up, and you know how long that takes. If you don't, you could ask Andrew. 2 to go.
Andrew Teft is getting dangerously close to Matt Mettler right now.
Garrett Michael might be the car that decides who's going to win this race.
It does seem that way, doesn't it? Hope everybody's been really nice to Garrett today.
Yeah.
And none of those top 3 drivers have a team affiliation, according to what I can see. So,
white flag out in the air. Alex Teft does get by Paul Hurst, so he's going to get a top 4. Andrew Teft is not going to get by Matt Mettler.
I think he might at the start-finish line. He has to get past pit road.
Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, here comes LaPrat on the outside, coming towards the start-finish line. Garrett Michaels right behind him.
Oh no!
Blasi turns LaPrat.
LaPrat's
going to win. Blasi gets second, and
oh dear,
LaPrat is around, upside down almost, sideways, but he is the race winner.
And Andrew Teft gets around Matt Mettler.
Oh, wow.
and I'm not sure what the gap is, but it's whatever Matt Metler's pit stall is to the start-finish line.
Yeah. Wow.
Looks like Andrew Teff's blown up again.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if anybody jumps in here real quick. If not, we'll just all race over here. You guys are back at it next week at iRacing Superspeedway for 75 laps in the Next Gen Series. That's going to be the last race before the chase, and the chase will start September 28th. So. Minute here. If we can. All right, well, don't see. Oh, Chris is there. Oh, there's Scarrett. All right, I'll bring him up real quick. You want to do any of the interviews, or you just?
I'm gonna leave that to you this time. Bye.
All right, sounds good. Hey, Garrett, Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going?
Hey, what's going on?
Well, not too much. So the 87s apparently were a handful?
Yeah, I guess. You know, the turns, I couldn't get the one turn down all the way for the life of me. Now I've figured it out for a couple times and just some reason just forget about it again.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but coming off of turn 2, it looked like you guys just kept almost fading up to that outside wall, and it didn't matter what you guys tried to do. That's where the car went. But I mean, 94 laps at Talladega in the 87s. Looked like you kind of had a handful there. What were you thinking when the 2 leaders were in front of you coming to that finish line?
Honestly, I was like, oh, I was trying to give that good 3-wide photo finish, but I don't know if I spooked the one driver and they bumped into each other, but definitely spooked me, so I slammed on the brakes. But all in all, I still think that was a good finish. Yeah, props to him.
Yeah, definitely for everything going on. But before we get you out of here, anybody want to thank before we let you loose?
You know, I just want to thank this league for, letting me come in and, this is my first league that we actually participated in. My last one didn't go so well, and other than that, I'm just glad this community is pretty good so far.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats on your P3 finish, and maybe we'll talk to you next week.
Yep, see you next week.
All right, let's get second place up here. Chris, Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going?
What's up, man?
Oh, not much. Well, it was a 2-car race for 90% of the race there. How was it racing out there in these 87s?
I'm actually not a fan of these cars. It's like driving a barge.
It definitely seemed that way. It seemed like once they started to sail a certain direction, there was nothing you could do to bring it back. But you and Brian seemed to have it figured out just enough to get away from everybody else.
Yeah, we ran pretty well together tonight. That was a lot of fun racing.
So coming to the start-finish line, you guys were almost 3 wide there with the lap car in between you. What were you thinking there coming to the end after being basically beside each other for 90 laps?
Well, I think I didn't lead one lap, and then the one that really mattered. So that kind of sucked.
Yeah, definitely. But looks like you're sitting pretty good as far as the points. You should be. You need to make one more race, but you should be able to get in the chase on points and see what happens next week at iRacing Superspeedway.
Yeah, man, that'll be a fun one. I don't even. Do you know what we're running?
Next gen.
Oh, okay, that'll work. Yeah, man, I felt bad getting. I was gonna try to side draft him down the front stretch there, or tri-oval, I guess, and yeah, I just lost the rear end.
Definitely. But congrats on your second place finish. Anybody you want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
No, man, just appreciate Andrew and them for putting this on. The Super Speedway series is a lot of fun. I hope we definitely do this again.
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, congrats once again, and maybe we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, I hope so, man. See you guys next week.
All right. So with that being said, anything you want to close out with, Colin, as your first night here helping out SRM?
I'm just stoked to be here, man. I thought that was unfortunate how many drivers had issues tonight. But definitely a heck of a race up front.
Yeah, it definitely was. Go ahead and go through the race results here. We got Ryan LaPratte, Chris Blase, Garrett Michael, 1, 2, 3. Alex Teft is able to get P4 with Paul Hurst, Joey Castle, Terry Fennell. Andrew Teft wound up P8 after blowing his engine early. Matt Metler called it a night early as well as Truth Hoke. And Kinsley Smith jumped in and thought better of it there, so he will try again next time. But these guys will head off to iRacing Superspeedway in the next gens and looks to put on the show next week. But from all the drivers here of the Racers Elite Superspeedway Series and all of us here at Sim Race Media, I want to wish you guys a good night. We'll see you next time.